G'day there, Guardians. Here we are again talking about the static challenges inside of the Vow of the Disciple raid, and this one is Handle with Care. It's at the Caretaker challenge, the second of the static challenges or the triumphs that you can complete throughout this raid. And the text says, defeat the Caretaker while having every member of your fire team stun it at least once per floor. So if you've got 6 people on your team, you go in with a 6-person fire team. Every person on that fire team needs to stun the Caretaker by shooting the coffin on his back at least once per floor for this to trigger. So we had a few cracks at this, not gonna lie, but we got it to work best when we decided to slow things down. Now, the same as the Caretaker challenge, when I said what you need to do for base information is slow it down. If you want my tips, the idea here is slow down the offerings or the deposits for the buff. The suggestion here and the way that we got this to work was to deposit 2 glyphs at a time. Now, the intention here is to string out the encounter long enough that all of the people on your fire team can get a stun. One of the problems was when we were banking 3 at a time, we had an issue where at least one person would fail to get a stun if they weren't stunning quick enough. So the way that we do this is we split the team into 3 teams of 2. We have 2 people doing the glyphs, we have 2 people effectively on ad duty, and 2 people manning the stun. Now, the first person on the glyph team that goes into the glyph room and collects the glyphs, they do their job as normal. The second person on that team, while they're waiting, gets the first stun on the floor because the Caretaker's back opens up nicely right in front of them. They can get the stun while the other person is inside the glyph room. They bank their offering, and then the person who's got the first stun, they can jump into the glyph room and do their job. Meanwhile, the stun team then take over the stuns. The people on ad duty get their stuns out of the way as well, and then finally the last person can rotate with one of the other people and get the final stun really easily because usually the Caretaker's in a nice and easy spot on the stairs to be able to shoot him in the back for that final stun. It makes it really comfortable for your fire team. The only thing to make sure you're doing is to ensure that before you bank that final offering, you're asking if everyone's got the stun. Now, if everyone has except for that last person, by all means, bank and then have that last person get the final stun within 5 seconds of that banking. What that'll do is buy you additional time on the next floor because the Caretaker will spawn in stunned, which means you've actually got a few additional seconds to worry about all the other mechanics once you're up on the next floor. On the next floor, you can basically rinse and repeat, except sometimes you might have a little bit of difficulty because the Caretaker spawns in a slightly different orientation. So he doesn't spawn in with his back immediately showing to the obelisk. In that circumstance, you might have one of the glyph runners start kind of on the side so they can get a shot at the Caretaker's back, and then they can run in on the second rotation. Once that rotation completes and you've got the stun team and the ad teams all doing their jobs and having their stuns, you can get the Caretaker in position for the final stun for that second glyph runner. I hope that you get something out of this. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you guys went with this particular triumph and attempting it in your fire teams. Thanks for watching, Guardians. I'll see you next time.